Greetings, fellow Sicilians, and welcome back to Medieval 2 Total War, where we are being attacked by a numerically superior army. However, their cavalry force is arguably not as strong as ours, and I think with superior tactics, we're going to be able to come out on top in this battle. So without further ado, here is the Battle of Venice.
Bring our people honor, glory, and most of all...
He just likes to leave you in suspense, you know? And most of all... Let's see what kind of speech we have about these Sicilians.
Any man who faces battle without fear is a mooncalf. Any man who claims never to have feared in his life is a liar. I am counting among the brave, but I tell you that I am proud and gladdened to be marching in your company. I'm sure the corpses of our Venetian foes will be well worth looting. As a people, they are overly fond of money, and I cannot believe that they would leave any at home where their ill-bred wives could steal. As a man of learning, I tell you books and all that stuff are all very nice. But on a day like this, you want a sword and a good suit of armor. A cutting word is nowhere near as good as sharpened steel. Let's to the enemy and show them!
Alright, and so begins the Battle of Venice. Alright, now we have an interesting situation ahead of us here. I believe the Venetians will be attacking from this side across the bridge, which means that the army that attacked us from behind is likely going to be behind us, which means that they are going to be completely cut off from their allies, which is all the better for us. So bearing that in mind, we're going to have our crossbowmen facing this way, because I think that's where they're going to attack from. If not, then, you know, things are going to be a little bit different, but we'll see what happens. I think this cavalry force is more than adequate for cutting down their troops, but we'll see.
The enemy are bringing in reinforcements.
Okay, so no, so they're the ones across the bridge apparently, which means they're going to get massacred as they try to cross. That's fine. But then the main battle is going to happen up here. We're going to try something here. We're going to keep all of our cavalry on one flank, and we're going to try to push through in one big, you know, stroke, while our archers kind of keep them at bay. Let's see, get the deployment lines a little bit better here. Now, these mercenary spearmen should be able to hold the line against these Italian spear militia. Especially since they're bottlenecked here at this bridge. We can kind of get a surround on them. Yeah. Victory is almost a certainty.
If we remain true and wholehearted, victory will be ours.
Alright, looks like we are getting outranged by the crossbows, so we're going to move up our troops, get a little bit closer. Alright, now they've left their units in the open here, their crossbowmen, so we're going to go ahead and take advantage of that.
Only half the enemy force remains.
And our spearmen at the bridge have slaughtered most of the enemy, from the looks of things. I don't think they're going to break. I think they're going to be able to beat the enemy here. And yeah, loose formation, abandoned by their spearmen. These crossbowmen should go down fairly quickly here. Yep, and they've already routed. Excellent. Let's pull the cavalry out.
We are blessed.
And we've killed the captain of the small attacking force.
Sent the idiot to hell. Praise the Almighty! Our enemy has lost his stomach to fight. We must push our advantage.
Look at all these bodies. Goodness. Well then. Now some of the Pavese crossbowmen have reformed, but we've barely lost any men compared to the amount that we just killed on that charge. So we're going to keep harassing them with archer fire while we regroup our cavalry here. And just continue to stay on this flank. Alright, now we can afford to, you know, get our troops a little bit more bunched up. You know, a little bit tighter of a formation against this incoming cavalry charge from the looks of things. We're actually going to get our archers behind the line ahead of time. Alright, so we're going to send the light cavalry to go deal with the crossbowmen in the meantime. It looks like their general is intent on seeking an engagement, so we're going to go ahead and get a charge in with our mailed knights here. Now our forces are outnumbered here, but our troops are also on the defensive, which should be in our favor. And we're going to try to get behind this general here with our bodyguard. Alright, we're perfectly behind him. Send in the troops. Get our lances down. And this should be a devastating charge. Alright, now they are completely encircled. Men are dying left and right. We should be able to kill their general. Meanwhile, our light cavalry are cutting down their crossbowmen. The only problem we currently have is that our archers may be in a bit of a difficult situation. But we're going to have them fire at this bunched up Italian spear militia that don't seem to be in the engagement at the moment. Their general's still holding on. Where is he? Where is the madman? There he is.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Now, unfortunately, we don't have a surround on their actual general right now. He's taking a lot of hits, though. And he's down.
Lord. Our men have slain the enemy general. Now his men will lose heart.
Alright, our light cavalry have mopped up those Pavese crossbowmen. Which is very good. And we're going to go ahead and get a rear charge in on these Italian spear militia.
Praise the Almighty.
Oh, come on, we have to see the rest of this.
Has lost his stomach to fight.
Don't cut me out, game.
Push our advantage.
We're going to have our troops clean up the retreating enemy. Don't want any survivors. Don't want anyone to make it back to the garrison just so we can take the city. This is what the Venetians get for declaring a surprise war on us, you know? Especially one that they can't actually win. Looks like our archers are just getting some shots into these people who should have retreated a while ago but didn't. We're going to finish them off with our cavalry, though. And that's going to be the end of this battle. So, the Battle of Venice.
The enemy are overcome.
A roaring success, I would say.
A great victory, worthy of only the mightiest of generals.
Well, that's certainly confidence boosting, isn't it? Let's see, we've taken 1,000 prisoners. We're going to try to ransom them. And Venice has rejected our ransom. This is fine. We've lost our ships, unfortunately. And we're going to occupy Venice. And now we're making an extra 2,000 florins per turn. Which is crazy. We could build a thieves guild in Venice, and you know what? Why not? Why not? We do have a mission to go take Tunis. So, we're going to raise up a small army to go do that with our newfound income. I would very much like to have some heavy cavalry in this army. Two mailed knights may be pushing it a little bit. I would rather have like an extra spearman unit. Especially since we have that extra archer now. These are still very small armies, and the composition is going to matter more as they get bigger. But for the time being, things are pretty small, I would say. Let's build a bigger farm in Florence. Although, how much would the mine? The mine would get us 120 florins per turn once it's done. So I say we go for that. And then this Venetian army is still just kind of chilling here. But with their main source of income gone, I think the Venetians are going to be pretty easy to take out from here on. Let's build a bigger road to help us traverse these lands. Holy Romans probably feeling a little nervous towards us, understandably. But that was a good battle. That was a good fight. I'm pretty happy that that happened. Now we're making about 3,500 florins in profit every turn, which is pretty good. We're gonna upgrade the stone wall here in order to, get some more, get better building options. And I think I'm gonna build a better farm here in Palermo as well. It is our capital. I feel like we should treat it with a little bit of love. But let's get these new, this new unit of mailed knights, these sergeant spearmen, in this army, and let's send them down to Tunis. Let's find the exact location of it. Right there on the coast. Alright, good.
Yes.
And it hasn't been conquered by the Moors yet, and it has a very small garrison as well, so pretty good overall for us, I would say. How's the population in Durazzo doing? They're up to 555. At 800 people, we can actually upgrade the city, so that'll be good to have, I think. Now, the Milanese do have a terrifying army over there. That's probably their only force, if we're being honest. That being said, I think it would be very prudent for us to start building up a militia here in Venice. Just in case we get attacked by the Milanese. Which is certainly likely, I'm sure. Now, almost all these men are spearmen, and we don't really have enough cavalry to, justify, the current situation. That being said, we could probably build some troops here in Ajaccio. Let's go ahead and, in fact, let's upgrade it to a bigger form of a castle. And that way we can train some more troops with it. Alright, let's land the men. Begin the siege. The siege will last 5 turns. They do have very, very weak troops defending the garrison, but that's fine. We're just going to leave them alone until such time. However, I feel like we should do something with this army here in Durazzo. Honestly, I think my main problem with it right now is I would like to round it out a bit more. But to do that, we're going to need some galleys, so I'm going to train some, just so we have a navy again. And then we'll focus on getting troops to actually send over there so that we can finish up our conquest of Venice.
We would ask you to lower your swords.
Alright, guys. Hear me out. We'll give you peace, but you have to give us back Venice. Alright, I'll give you a ceasefire.
Of course.
They accept. Alright, so now we've got a ceasefire with Venice, which is good because if you go too hard on on expansion and stuff like that, then what can happen is the Pope will get pissed at you, and then you won't be able to do anything without getting excommunicated. And if you get excommunicated, the Pope can actually call a crusade on you, which is really bad. So we're going to avoid doing that. We're actually going to build a town hall here in Venice now that the paved roads are done. And already we're making 2,500 florins per turn from that city. So well worth the investment, I think. Let's build a city hall in Florence as well. And now that we've got this ceasefire with Venice, honestly, the forces that we can raise at Palermo are not that great because we don't even have most of the buildings we need to to really get things off the ground. We can train some knights, but actually getting some infantry, for example, we have to go to Cagliari for that.
Your orders?
So let's do that. Let's go get some troops. We don't have an archery range. We don't have any sort of real garrison apart from a building that can train peasants, which is obviously not that great. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. Now, interestingly, we could turn Durazzo here into a castle. However, I think it's better off as a village just because I want it to grow. And you know, Ragusa's nearby, and once our ceasefire with Venice is up, we're probably going to go capture it. But interestingly, the Byzantines have just laid siege to our city.
The enemy lays siege, my lord, but God is with us.
Are they just going to go for the assault? Yes, they are. Okay, the Byzantine force is comprised of mainly archers and spearmen. They have no cavalry at all, however, the majority of our force is cavalry. I don't see this ending well for them. But that's going to happen next time, so thank you for joining me, my fellow Sicilians, and I'll see you in the Battle for Durazzo.